Hello everyone, welcome to Event Digital class. In today's class of computer organization, I will discuss the concept of associative mapping. So in the previous class, we have discussed about the direct mapping concept, and in the direct mapping, what we have done? We have placed the block of main memory into a specific cache line by implementing a formula, that is our K mod n. So in the associative mapping, we will discuss about how to overcome the disadvantages of direct mapping. So before going to the associative mapping, or you can say the associative mapping as fully associative mapping also. So before going to the details of associative mapping, first we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of direct mapping. Okay, so let's go to the slides. So first one is our direct mapping, pros and cons, that is our advantages and disadvantages. So let's see. First one is our simple. The direct mapping is simpler as compared to the associative and set associative mapping, because the calculations are less, and also we know the location where we want to store the blocks in the cache memory, as the location is already fixed, or you can directly map the block of main memory into the cache line. That's why it is simple. And next one is our inexpensive. Inexpensive means it is less cost, or the implementation of direct mapping is less cost than the set associative and associative mapping, which we will discuss later. And last but not the least is our fixed location for the given block. It is our disadvantages of direct mapping, because fixed location for a given block, which I have discussed in our previous lecture. But what is the disadvantages? If a program accesses two blocks that map to the same line repeatedly, then cache miss occurs, and that condition is called as thrashing. Okay, cache miss means, as I have told you, that when the needed information or the needed word which the processor wants, if that is absent in the cache, that is called as the cache miss. And in the direct mapping, what I have discussed, that it is, or you can say the memory blocks or the main memory blocks are basically stored directly in a cache line, and that is fixed. So you cannot change the location of the block in the cache line. So if let B0, B4, B8 like this, these are assigned to the line 0, and first if you want to store B0, then the CPU needs a word which is in the B4. Okay, and there line 2 and line 3 and line 1 also empty, but you cannot store B4 into the L2 or line 2, line 3 or line 1, because it develops the direct mapping technique concept. So for this reason, the cache misses are very high, or you will get high cache miss ratio. So that is the main disadvantages of direct mapping, that even if we are having empty lines in the cache, but we cannot store the blocks in the cache memory. So to overcome these disadvantages, there are two other mapping concepts like associative mapping and set associative mapping. So let's go to that. So first one is our associative mapping. So in the associative mapping, it overcomes the problems of the direct mapping, that is the location is fixed, or the block of main memory can be assigned to a specific cache line. So that is the problem, because cache misses are high in the direct mapping. So to overcome that, we use the concept of associative mapping technique. So in this, the main memory block can be loaded into any line of cache. That means here the line of cache is not fixed for the memory blocks which we are going to store in the cache memory if cache miss occurs. And then next one is our memory address is interpreted as tag and word, as it is same as a direct mapping, because in the direct mapping also, as I have discussed, the memory address is interpreted as the tag word, or you can say word offset or the block. Okay, you can go to the previous lectures which I have discussed about the direct mapping, then you will be more clear about these things. So next one is our tag is uniquely identified block of memory. In the previous direct mapping concept, there are basically one is our block and another one is our word, and in the cache memory there is 3 fields. One is our word offset, and next one is our line, and next third one is our tag. So here the tag is basically used to identify the block of memory, and here every line tag is examined for a match. So when the processor will search for a word in the cache memory, then it has to examine every lines to get the word. So it is also needs a dirty and a valid bit. So these 2 bits are basically required to examine the tag. The next one is our the cache searching gets expensive as compared to the direct mapping, and it is needs circuitry that can simultaneously examine all tags for a match. To speed up the processing, the processor has to match all the tags or all the combination of tags at a single point of time, or you can say in the parallel it has to match all the tags. If it will go through one by one, then it will take more time to get the word, the requested word basically. So here we have to implement a circuitry that is used to examine all the tags parallelly. Okay. So next one is to implement this, lots of circuitry needed, that is why it is expensive as compared to the previous mapping technique. Next in our need replacement policies, now that anything can get thrown out of the cache. Okay. Here we use the replacement policies because every block, or you can say any block, can be stored in any line of cache. So we need the replacement algorithms for this, which I will discuss in our later videos. Okay. So first go through these mapping techniques. So this is the example of associative mapping. Here as you can see, first block can map to any slot. Here you can see the block 0, block 1 and block 2 like this up to block 7. That means the size is our approximately 8 blocks. 0 to 7 means it is our 8 blocks. So if it will follow the direct mapping, then block 0 has to be stored in the line 0, or you can say slot 0, block 1 slot 1, block 2 in the line 2, block 3 in the line 3, then block 4 again in the 0 like this. But in this associative mapping, you can store any block into any lines, and here is the tag field which I have discussed in our previous lecture. So the cache memory address includes the word field and only the tag field, there is no line field. So this tag field includes one valid bit and one is our dirty bit. So here you can see block 1 is placed in slot 2, which one is empty, it can store the block, or you can store the block in any empty line, or also you can replace. Okay. So next one is our tag used to identify which block is in which slot. As I have told you in our previous slide that tag is basically used to identify the block. Okay. Here you can see basically this is a tag which are used to identify the blocks, because we know the blocks are stored in this slot, or you can say the cache lines. So next one is our all slots sourced in parallel for target. If a processor wants a word from the cache memory, then it has to search all the slots, or you can say all the lines in parallel, and for doing this the tag is used. for searching parallelly. So next one is it is the example here. There is 64k cache example, that means it includes 64k words. So let us see. So as it includes 64k words, then how many bits will require to represent the cache memory? Approximately you can see here the 24 bits are required to represent the cache address, but from these 24 bits word bit is our 2 bit and other 22 bit is used to represent the tag. So here 22 bit tag stored in each slot in the cache. So no more bits for the slot line number needed, since all tags search in the parallel. As in the previous mapping technique, that is our direct mapping, we are having another field, that is our line. So here there is no field to determine the line number, okay, because the tag bits, whatever the combination of tags we are having or the value of tag, all the combinations are sourced in parallel. So we don't need the slot line number here as in the direct mapping addressing of the cache memory concept. Then next is our compare the tag field of a target memory address with tag entry in cache to check for hit. Okay, hit means if the processor gets the word which it requests, then that means here is the cache hit. So to get the cache hit, you have to compare the tag field of the target memory address, because the CPU generates a memory address, and if it generates here let 24 bit memory address. For this cache technique or the cache implementation concept, the address has to be 24 bit, and from this 24 bit the MSB 22 bits are used as the tag and the LSB 2 bits are used for the word offset. So that will be compare with the tag fields which is used to address the cache memory completely, then to check for the cache hit. So next one is our least significant 2 bits of address. Identify which word is required from the block. As I have told you, these word 2 bits are basically used to address the word. Which word? If it will be let 00, that means 0th number of word. If it is 01, that means the word which is stored in the first position, and if it is 10, that means the second position, and if it is 11, it is the third position, because for this combination in each block the amount of word will be 4, or you can say the block stores 4 words for this example. Okay, so let's take an example. If the CPU generates this address, okay, here you can see it is in the hexadecimal format FFFFFC. So all of this is decoded into its binary format. So that is a tag left 22 bits. So if we have this much, that means this much last to the 00 is used to identify the position of word in the block, and this is our tag field, and you have to compare all these combinations parallelly to get that. And what is the tag value? Value is our this. Okay, and from this tag we can get our slot number, or you can say the line number, and from that line you can easily get the block which is stored in the line, and from the block you can get the 0th position word, that will be our word which the processor wants. Here it is the address. So this is the address of the 0th positions word of this tag field. Okay. So in today class we have discussed about the associative mapping concept, and also we implement that in an example. And what we have studied, first In the associative mapping, you can assign the memory block into any cache line. As in the direct mapping, what we have seen, that there is a specific cache line where you have to insert or you have to place the memory block. But in the associative mapping, in the associative mapping, the memory blocks can be placed into any cache line, because what I have discussed in the disadvantages of direct mapping, that if there are some lines which are empty when you are placing a block of memory into the cache, then also you cannot place that block into the empty lines, because it will go beyond the rules of the direct mapping, that is our K mod n formula. So, by overcoming that disadvantages of direct mapping, the associative mapping is implemented, and in this, as you can see here, the blocks can be mapped into any slot and the tags are identified parallelly, and then this is the example of associative mapping where I have taken the cache size as 64K, and then here is the address which is generated by the CPU, and this is the tag field, and as here it is the word. So, you have to remember the direct mapping concept and also the associative mapping concept, and do not confuse with these two mapping concept. Okay. So, basic difference is you have to remember, in the direct mapping you can directly map the memory blocks into a cache line, but in the associative mapping or the fully associative mapping, you can also call it as, in this you can place or you can map the memory block into any cache lines or here in any cache slot. Okay. This is some main things which you have to remember when you are facing some problem in some competitive exams. So, first you have to check in the question what is given, whether you have to solve that problem by using associative mapping or by direct mapping or by set associative, which I will discuss in my next lecture about the set associative mapping basically. So, first you have to check which mapping techniques you have to use to solve that problem. Okay. So, this is the main thing you have to remember. So, if you have any doubt about associative mapping, then you can give it in the comment box. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.